How badly do you want to get into Disney? Well, it looks like people out there, maybe they're gasping at the $200 ticket price that's just been announced for Disneyland. We're all looking for discounts in this economy. One couple from Maryland seems to have found the trick, and that is embezzling $500,000 and spending it on 31 trips, and some of them to Disney. Let's talk about that on That Park Place. Now, we are talking about prices on theme parks, and I did want to bring this story up. Apparently, a Maryland couple has figured out the way to get that Disney hookup. This out of the New York Post. A couple took 31 trips to Disney World after stealing $500,000 from the government. I don't know why they put the word feds here like that, but there it is. This by Anna Young, obviously out of the New York Post. Hey, look, there's Daniel Craig, not looking like a James Bond right there. Life isn't so magical anymore. An Army contractor and his girlfriend defrauded the government of nearly $500,000 to take dozens of lavish vacations to Walt Disney World while claiming they were traveling for work. Thomas Bouchard, 61. First of all, girlfriend at 61, used his government connections to get his girlfriend, Cantel Boyd, 53, hired for a no-show job as his assistant so they could take numerous vacations, including 31 trips to Disney World in Orlando, Florida. They claimed were work-related, according to the U.S. Attorney's Office for the District of Massachusetts. So all of you influencers out there that are doing this just so you can get cupcakes and like get special access to Disney events before anybody else, apparently you need to be getting into government work. The elaborate scheme cost the Department of Defense, otherwise known as the American people, more than $490,000, prosecutors said. Bouchard, who was in charge of the U.S. Army Natick, perhaps, contracting division in Massachusetts, used his long-standing relationship with Government Contract Evolution Enterprise to have Boyd hired as an assistant to support him. I've worked in Fortune 500 companies, and there are a lot of systems in place to make sure that nothing like this ever happens. Interesting that the government doesn't have that in place. Boyd was a paid government salary of $487,658 and performed little, if any, useful function from 2014 to 2018, costing the government an extra $75,000 in travel expenses, prosecutors said. So when I hear the word salary, I'm assuming that is a year, but that is an amazing amount of money. So the trips were $75,000 and the salary was almost half $500,000 here. I am in the wrong line of work, guys. Couple booked vacations ranging from 2 to 15 days under the guise that they were work-related and their travels, which were done during business hours. Yes, that's the problem. The hours, including staying at hotels, lounging by the pool, and visiting Disney parks. Here we have, 16. That's at least $8,000 worth of balloons there. In addition to Disney, the couple also traveled to Virginia and other Florida locations. Prosecutors said Bouchard concealed the nature of their trips and sought reimbursement by falsifying and then approving expense records. Federal authorities arrested the couple in July of 2022, and they each pled guilty to 1 count of conspiracy and 10 counts of theft of government funds and false declarations. I can't even imagine what the charges would end up being if they tried to plead not guilty to all of this stuff. Anyone looking forward to using the new hookup here?
Well, I mean, they gave Disney the government's money, and Disney's just going to give it right back, because aren't the two things one and the same at this point?
No, that has to be filtered through ABC News first.
Oh, right. How silly of me.
Oh my goodness,
that's crazy.
I'm doing a little math here. They spent on average, what, if we are to assume that the bulk of this went to these 31, it looks like, Walt Disney World vacations, they spent around $16,000 per trip there, is what that
so they stayed at All-Star. So they stayed at All-Star Music?
Yeah, they stayed at All-Star Music.
No dining plan, no park hopper, just, bare bones.
Yep.
Just the
went lean,
of the road.
went lean on it, 16,000. That's quite a bit there.
No Disney, no Genie Plus for this family. Oh no.
I'm just going to point out, the last time
Uncle
I went
Sam's
to to Universal. I stayed in a hotel, and I got creative a little bit in how I paid for that hotel, but it was a nice hotel. We stayed in a suite. It had several bedrooms in it, so I'm not going to say which hotel we stayed at, but nice trip. We went to a park in the Orlando area. And we had 5 days worth of tickets to Universal, the entire trip. And I mean the entire trip, for more than 6 people that ended up coming on this trip. It was less than $3,000 for the entire vacation. And I'm going to say we weren't starving on this vacation. So I do not understand people paying $16,000 for 2 people to go to Disney.
Maybe they were staying in the King Kamehameha suite at the Polynesian resort. That's like the biggest, like mamma jamma, like resort room you could possibly get in Disney. That's the thing that exists. I'm not making that up because I'm a Dragon Ball fan.
No, that's true. And the King Kamehameha suite, I mean, it's so expensive that I think that's why the Beatles broke up in the King Kamehameha suite. Is somebody booked the room and then somebody else saw the bill and they were like, this will not stand. Yoko, what have you talked us into?
Yes, I guess exactly. If they flew first class, stayed at the Grand Suite, went to those crazy restaurants, maybe.
Yeah, they had V&As every night.
I mean, every night. Maybe they paid for the VIP ticket or something. I don't know. Actually, no. I just did a little math here myself. They actually got the Genie Plus. That's what is. That's what's going on. They paid for the full Genie Plus experience.
Do you ever get Genie Plus, Jay, at this point?
I did it one time for a video just to show, and now it's like I'm spoiled. I live so close. It's like all I got to do is check the wait times before I even head on out and go, okay, today's a good day. Let's go.
Yeah.
So I will say, I'll give this couple their due. At least they didn't steal from like homeless children who had the funds allotted to them for Walt Disney World vacations and embezzled that money, because that was another story that we covered here on That Park Place, and that was very egregious. But embezzling money from the government to pay for your lavish Walt Disney World vacations, can't say that I'm super surprised.
I still can't believe that story.
Honestly, though, Jonas, like when you say that they're taking money from the government, you touched on it very briefly when you said before, but like they're actually stealing that money from us because that's our money. That's our tax money. So they are actually stealing from every single one of us to go on Disney vacations. That's what's infuriating.
Right, because there's never government funded. It's always taxpayer funded, and you guys can gather my politics from that. I don't know what happened to
that kind of money. I guess, as you know, when you live right next door to Disney, you never think about spending. Like if I had, I would never steal from the government. But it's like if I had that kind of money, Disney would not be number one on my list of places to go visit.
I mean, if we're being honest, like would you go to a simulation of California, a California themed theme park out in California, or would you go to some of the places that this is actually themed on? You could probably go to France, actual France, and have an entire vacation full of actual French cooking, rather than going to Epcot with their
terrible.
I mean, weak drinks and simulated facades and all of that. They're getting to the point now where if you just look, if you eliminate Disney from your options, you get a lot more creative and you can find a lot more actual amazing experiences out in the real world instead of this simulated environment.
You want authentic French experiences, baguettes, the Eiffel Tower, getting stabbed. You want all of the authentic European experiences.
Well, I don't know if you guys saw SNL recently, but you could just, go around Epcot there, get drunk in the Germany Pavilion, and then, mistakenly think that you were in China when you weren't. Yeah, that is a possibility. So a lot of people opt for those vacations, and, well, they have a good time.
Thanks for watching That Park Place News. For more information, consider checking out www.thatparkplace.com. And don't forget to subscribe, share, like, and send this out on your favorite social media accounts.